Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to another studio tour. Now, it's not been that long since the last studio tour, but there's been a few changes, because if you follow me over on social media at all, you probably would have seen that I now have my very own studio space, and that's what this tour is showcasing. Now, if you've watched any of my studio tours in the past, you would have seen that my studio was kind of pigeonholed and confined into a corner of my bedroom, which has been a very small space, and it's been kind of tight, kind of working in those parameters and not kind of expanding over all of the bedroom area. But now that I have my own space, that's eliminated, and that's what today's video is. I'm going to show you guys around this space because I think it's amazing and I really love working in here. So let's get started. Okay, so this is the studio. So we enter from my kitchen, and this is the general overview. We've got some really nice pipes there, workstation, and then as we like swing around and come to the workstation, you've got all of this space here where I filled it with this bookshelf, which was in the previous room, but it's now obviously in a different place. So I'm going to swing you guys around and start from here because this stuff is all new. I'm not going to go too much into detail with all of this stuff because you can watch the previous studio tour for like all of the equipment and things. I'm just going to show you around this new area. So the first thing you'll notice, if I come like right into the corner, the first thing you'll notice is that I now have two desks. So this desk here is my main drawing desk. You can see I've got a project there covered up, and this is my packing station / storage area for other projects. So this is mainly going to be where Simon, my husband, works when he goes full-time in January. Let's start at the top here. So this is a Kallax unit from Ikea. I've got some of those glass door insert type things. So in this one here I have my spare camera, some lenses, candles, and some books. So I've got mainly business books, so I've got like how to style your brand, I've got some psychology books. Let's open it up so you don't get the reflection. Dog breeds for when I was drawing a load of dog breeds. These are all of the business books. You've probably seen these before in my previous video, but here they are again. And I've got my spare Canon 750D, which was the old one. I've now got the 80D for recording. You'll see the setup for that in a minute. So that's that one. This one isn't really business related, it's more like my hobby, but I've got some nice crystals up there, some tarot decks and things, oracle decks, all of that kind of stuff. Then we've got more businessy things down here. So I have my letter in tray, so I've got all of the invoices in the top. The ones in the middle are done and need filing. Look at all that filing. And then on the bottom is just miscellaneous. In the next cubby hole I've got an acrylic painting, I've got my label maker and some candles. And you've also got like the gangway back there to the plug sockets and things. Then we kind of need to come like down here underneath. This stuff under here is like packaging supplies and things that I don't often use. So I've got my scanner there, and I've got my camera bag, my shredder. I have a load of wet wipes there. They're not meant to be in here, but they are for now. My bin, and I've got some artwork to go on the walls from other artists there. That all needs to go up. That's not entirely up yet. But basically in that box just there I have all of my spare sort of inserts which go into my subscription boxes. So I put in a load of different inserts, about 5 in total. All of the spare ones are in that box waiting to be cut up and put into boxes. I ordered like 1,500, so I've got loads in there. Behind the scanner there is another of these cupboards, and it's basically just filled with more calendars. So in this set of drawers that I've got here, I've got some product. In that little cupboard there is some more product, but it's down there because I don't really need it all in these drawers. That's just spare. And then I have my box for enamel pins, which I'm waiting on more enamel pins to be ordered. I've got some padded envelopes, obviously my printer paper, that's pretty self-explanatory. This cupboard we can actually open. So in this cupboard we just have envelopes. So I've got the yellow ones which I use for Etsy orders, and I've got my A4 ones for calendar orders, and then I've got those flat packed boxes which I use for subscription boxes. And that is my packaging cupboard. It's pretty empty at the moment, it needs filling up a little bit more. So that's basically that Kallax unit. You can see it's like 8 different sections. They're not utilised properly just yet, but when I become more settled in here, like in a few more months, I'll start to fill all of that stuff up, and when I do an updated studio tour you guys will probably see that it's changed. So my actual desk setup hasn't changed all that much. My recording setup's changed a little bit, but let me show you guys in this new set of drawers. So before I just had the one set of Alex drawers, but now I have 2. And it frames my desk really nicely as well. So let's start at the bottom here. So in this bottom drawer we basically just have A5 prints which go in my subscription boxes. These ones are already packaged up, these ones are waiting to be packaged. And then I've got packaging tapes, glue guns, more Dymo labels and things like that in there. This one is basically a nothing drawer at the moment. I've got both my tape dispensers, I've got my copy of my calendar, so my like hard copy, my physical copy for reference, weighing scales, that's for a giveaway, and then I've got my watercolour pencils there as well. In this one, this is basically just spare supplies that aren't coloured pencil related. So in this tub I've got a load of Pokemon cards which need filing, but I've also got all of these markers which are the Spectrum Aqua markers, some paint brushes and lots of other different things, miscellaneous items in there. I've got some batteries for my Mac mouse and keyboard, I've got some miniature frames there. I have these Caran d'Ache Neo Colour 2 things, I've got 2 bits of those actually, some birthday cards, paper, more aqua pens, acrylic paints, a stamp for my gift vouchers. Yeah, that's basically just like the spare supplies drawer. This next one is just filled with product, so this is actually for a project that I'm working on at the moment. I've got my acrylic palette, some spare Scotch magic tape, and this is where the calendar products are kept for the time being. I've also got some hair ties and other things. And this is my packaging drawer, or Simon's packaging drawer. So I've got the tapes for sealing parcels. Obviously I've got my free prints which go into every single order, thank you cards, confetti, business cards, and then I've got these scratch cards as well which go into all of my orders. So that's all in there. So as we come across the desk now, obviously I've got my Mac, I've got some pieces that I'm working on there which don't fit into any of my drawers. Sketchbook, this one's my sketchbook, bullet journal, all of my office pen supplies. And then if I come back you can see the whole setup here. So I've got 2 monitors because when I'm streaming the Mac is too small to have all of the screens that I need, so I've got a second one. And then I've got my camera set up and everything. So I've got my microphone on my boom arm which is just behind the second screen there, and it comes right up as well. And I've also got my studio lights. And my camera is basically on this T-mount thing, which I have kind of fashioned together myself with various different parts from Amazon. And it's just mounted straight down into the windowsill, down into the brick of the conservatory there, so it's really nice and sturdy. And I can position this at any height or whatever, and I've got my ball head there so I can change the position if I need to. On the back wall there I've got my swatch cards, which I decided to stick together and put in a frame as kind of like a memento to old tutorials, which I thought was quite nice. Forgot to mention on top of the Kallax as well, you've got Althea the fern, she's really lovely. I've also got my air humidifier money box. I've got some artwork in this tube ready to go up as well. So if we take a look at these drawers are pretty much the same as the last studio tour, so I'm just going to briefly go through this, but I've just got all of my coloured pencil supplies in there. This one has remnants of packaging supplies. I've got all of my spare confetti, washi tape, basically everything that I need for packaging that doesn't go in the other drawer. This one is miscellaneous items, so I've got some fixative, got another tape dispenser, some pencils, paper, so printer paper. I've also got some Christmas ornaments there that I was going to take some product pictures with, need to still do that. This one basically has all of my tissue paper and cellophane bags and anything that I need for packaging prints and packaging, like all of my orders I wrap in this green tissue and sometimes this white tissue as well, so that's all in there. And this last one contains basically a load of junk. I've got my second hard drive, some swatch cards from tutorials this year, some watercolour pencils, and then I've got all of the magazines that I've been featured in and things down below which need to go in a frame and hung up on the wall in here as well. So then we come to this thing. So this is all the same as what it was in the last studio tour, as I said, but new addition of this huge hurricane vase for my candles. I've got my acrylic paints, oil paints, which were from a nice subscriber. And I've also got some gouache up there as well. In that metal tin just there, some nice Caran d'Ache gouache. If we come down on this shelf, this is just basically display. So I've got my ficus, which is called Felix. I've got my jade horse, some more crystals and some more kind of hobby books. This solvent is up here because James' kid's getting in here and getting hold of that, and I don't really want that to happen. Then we've got some more sort of me items, so this just makes this a happy place. So I've got a nice quote, I've got some things I like little lip balms, all of these Tsum Tsums and other things, pin cushion because I'm halfway through pinning my curtains, and some fancy erasers and things. So this is obviously my coloured pencil shelf, so this bunting needs to go up on my wall at some point, but these are all the coloured pencils that I regularly use. So we've got the Prismacolors here, and then we've got all of the polychromos in this pot and this thing, and also if we come down here you've got all of these drawers which are from Art Discount. I'll pop a link because everybody always asks about these, but these all house my luminance, spare polychromos, see all the luminance, and the Pablos as well. So that is just full with coloured pencils. There's 3 sets of drawers there. This section basically has this little pot, has all of my sort of blending materials, spare sharpeners, erasers and all of that. Then I've just got all of these different coloured pencil sets. So I've got the Castle Art Supplies Arteza, and I've got my gold fibre. That's not actually full of Prismacolors, that's actually full of graphite pencils. And then I've got my Shinhan watercolours, and then 2 sets of pastels. So I've got the Faber-Castell Pitt pastels and also the Stabilo Carbothello pastels. In this little pencil case I've just got all of my sketching supplies. If you've watched my sketching video for my sketchbook, everything's in there. So these final 2 shelves, this one is all of my kind of paint supplies and everything that's not kind of colour pencil related. On this side I've got all of my sketchbooks, diaries, anything that I need in day-to-day like running of business. Then I've got some water jars. James has decided to put all of my paintbrushes in there for some reason. They usually live in that other one at the back there in this basket. But in this basket I've just got like all of my solvents and all of my mediums that I need for painting and coloured pencils. So I've got my Zest-It, my Gamsol usually lives down here but it's leaking, which is why I've put it up out of the way of James. Some glues, as you can see James has put my glue upside down in there, fantastic. And then on this side I've got my new porcelain palette from Jackson's Art Supplies, plastic palette, my watercolour, that's my Winsor & Newton watercolour set, and then I've got my own made palette in this pink one, and then I've got the Cotman watercolours in this white thing. So this last shelf is basically just all of my folders for office and business admin. I've got a few larger sketchbooks and some coloured pencil creative books that don't fit in my other Kallax unit. And then I've got all of my miscellaneous tech So all of my leads and everything, and I've got some gold leaf on there as well for some reason. But yeah, that's all just basically a nice big jumble. So I'll just come out this way a little bit so you guys can actually see this corner. Usually the blinds are rolled up here, but I decided to pull them just so the lighting was a little bit better for this video. So that's the whole unit. We've got Wilfred the plant there as well, and I've got my larger tripod. And this is a new addition. So this is actually a DVD unit from Ikea, but I've used it for all of my cards. So this is like my cardstock inventory type thing. I've just got all of these post-it notes on the side at the moment so I can see which ones are which. All the way down, all those different cards. And Simon's put this little screw in here so I can put my big metal ruler on there so it's out the way. I suppose the last thing in here that you really kind of need to see is the notice board, which I've just basically pinned my calendar, this year's calendar to. I've got some business card of some places that I like to shop, some prints and things. Got my VidCon London tickets there ready. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And I've also got this really nice gold stone necklace as well. This print here is from Marzia. Was on the wall, but it actually fell off today. It was up there, but the hook fell off of those command strip things, so it's now sitting there, but it was sitting up there, and that's where some of the others are going up there as well. So yeah, that's basically the new studio. It's a fairly large space than what is actually conveyed on video and things. There's a lot of room here. There's a little shot of the floor for you, but there's actually quite a lot of room. The desks are actually quite large as well, and so are all the furniture units, so it's quite a spacious area and it's really nice. It gets my creativeness flowing and I'm really enjoying working in here. And it leads right out onto our garden. Excuse the garden, it's a complete mess at the moment. But when the weather's nice I can open the doors, do some painting, do some drawing, or do whatever basically. And there we go. New studio tour complete. I think this is my favourite area though. So that's pretty much it for my studio tour. It's just a really lovely space. It's got a really nice atmosphere. It's really nice to come in here, just kind of sit down and know that this is my dedicated space for art and for business, and not have it kind of spread all around the house. It's just nice to know that it can be confined into this room and I can leave it a mess if I need to, or leave things out if I need to. There's just so much more freedom for me, and it's kind of cleared a lot of my thoughts out of my head. If you guys watching this are creatives as well, you probably have a lot of thoughts and a lot of ideas going on in your head, and I feel like this is just kind of like the place that I can leave them, and that's really, really nice for me. I do a lot of other things in here besides just coloured pencil drawing as well. I come in here some days and I sit down and I paint, be that watercolour, acrylic. I'm doing a lot of acrylic painting lately. Sketching, just working in my sketchbook, and it's also just a nice place to come in here and just sit down and do business and admin tasks as well, which often takes up a lot of my time nowadays. It's also a much nicer space just to sit down and do some live streaming. I feel a lot more comfortable live streaming here rather than in the bedroom, because I don't have to tidy anything up or kind of position the camera in a way that it's not kind of showing any kind of washing or clothes or anything like that. So yeah, really happy with this space. Let me know what you guys think of this space as well. Do you love it as much as me? And leave me a comment down below of your favourite feature or your favourite area of this space. I really love this bookcase and like just this whole backdrop area. I really love this. I just love it all. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you want to see more coloured pencil and arty weekly content. There's also some live streams on Sundays, and I will be uploading a few videos here and there during the week in the next few weeks as well. But that's it from me today. Happy drawing, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye! Now I've got to turn you off.